All right, I will call the Public Works Standing Committee meeting for Monday, August 10th, 2026 to order. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes for both July 13th and July 27th?
Well, I wasn't here the 13th, but I read them, so I approve them.
Okay. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye. Okay. Public Works update. Hi, take it away.
Got a fair bit here. Start with the water project. Tomorrow and Wednesday are our last tie-ins on the water main lines, which means all of the pipe will be in the ground by the end of Wednesday. They're two very big days. We're currently at 1 o'clock today, we switched over to where all of town is getting water directly from Waterworks instead of the tank up on the hill, because we needed to shut that down for these tie-ins. We'll go back to that probably Wednesday, back to the tank. And we've got a pretty good sized water shutdown scheduled for tomorrow.
Yep.
People have been public noticed, so
You.
hopefully the phone won't ring bad. Met with the pavers today. We went over everything. I went to the resort tax board and requested additional funds be put into streets this year for, it's always a battle. The funding agencies only pay for the trench or what gets tore up doing the trench. And so we end up fighting over where the cut line is in the pavement, and it ends up doing things like Platte and where we have all these and so we're gonna probably do a lot more paving this year. We're just splitting it out. I'm getting what they're gonna do, and then I'm adding what we're gonna do out of that budget, so we're gonna be able to pave Olive Park from where it was paved in 2024. It'll be full section all the way to 308. So that'll be a big improvement. 9th Street from Word up to Adams will be a complete paved, full section. 10th Street over here is going to be full section except where the concrete's at. And I think 8th is going to be a full section as well. So that's good news. The paving is going to start the week of the 24th. Paper has finished up in Bozeman next week, and then they're coming here. Concrete for the sidewalks got tore out, and the curbs that got tore out will hopefully go in possibly this week. I haven't got anything firm from that sub, but for sure next week. So that's it with the water. Sewer project is, I believe, actually going to start tomorrow. We're going to have some kind of some little issues with that project, especially in the beginning. We are going to be going by the school and the pool. I'm trying to get those in the front end and maybe be kind of through there before school starts on the 28th. But it is going to impact the pool to a degree. I don't think it's going to mean we'll shut the pool down. It's just going to cause a disruption. We do have one problem that we're trying to navigate over between McGillen and Grant, where it's come to our attention that there is an existing gas line right over the sewer, and it's a very old gas line. And we're trying to get Northwest Energy to move it. They don't want us digging by it because it's very old.
They don't want what?
They don't want us digging next to it because it's very old. I said, well, if it's not safe, why don't you replace it? We're having negotiations.
Well, I guess if you break it, then they'll have to move it.
If they survive,
I know, just fire department on site.
Pass it out.
So, the street project down here, I was told last week that we were going to start paving on the west side. I was told today we're going to start paving on the west side next Monday, so that got pushed back. They have started doing concrete work on the east side in a way that the kind of order operations on all this is the curb and gutter gets put in first, and that includes the curb and gutter around the ADA sidewalks, and then we pave, and then the concrete crew comes back and does the ADA sidewalk portions. So it'll go paving, or like on the east side, it's gonna be continued concrete, and then paving, and then more concrete. Along those lines, I've had 4 individuals from, on the east side over here on Hauser, and this is great. They are taking advantage of the sidewalk incentive program, and so that block from 6th to 5th, I think. Yeah, is gonna have those 4 houses are the 4 houses that don't have very nice sidewalks, so that whole block's gonna have great curb and gutter, nice street section, and good sidewalks all the way down there. We're not gonna, do those sidewalks until after they're done paving over there, so it'll be, probably in September that'll happen. We have had a lot of, sidewalk projects coming up as part of the 50/50, and there's a lot of, participation and a request for the city to pull the sidewalks out, and I didn't really realize, how big of an incentive that was when I suggested we put it in there. Like, I've had people get a bid, and then, don't quote me on the numbers, but I think it was like $8,000, and I was looking at it, and a lot of it was removal, and I said, well, we can remove this for you. So we went back and got another bid, and it was $3,500.
Wow.
So that's a big, that's just,
Yeah,
it's kind of,
definitely.
it's a good thing to have in there. Big thing, is in parks, there's been a lot. The EDA folks finally came back, and it looks like if we can get everything together, they will allow us to, utilize all the grant money available. We have to match, but we'll be able to utilize all the grant money, and we're gonna do that Chambers Avenue from 2nd Street by the high school up around the Coal Miners Park with curb, gutter, and asphalt, so that's pretty exciting. I don't know, it's still, we're just gonna have to see how we get, we've got some hoops to jump through yet on our end, just in terms of like, the site opinion and a few other things. And basically that's gotta come when K2's done with this other, with the primary project, and then we're gonna be looking at what the weather's doing. It may be something that gets pushed to spring. Soccer field, we've been having some troubles with the pump and the sprinkler system up there. I've been working on that. That pump guy in, we put in a sand separator for it. That's about it there. Starting to get going on the preliminary stuff for the trail on the west bench. I just went up and surveyed the preliminary design. This, we have something to give to, we're gonna go out and get a geotech report done on it. We're gonna do an environmental assessment or report on that, and we're also gonna have an engineering review report. We're gonna get those 3 documents together and come back to whichever body, I don't know if it was determined in the last meeting, but for approval, and then we'll start that project. And again, we can get all those things done, you know, in a timely manner. I could see possibly some construction on that this fall, weather dependent, or it could be a spring thing.
Hey, does that go before council, or?
I think, what we decided on the
This
trail?
is the EDA,
No.
This is the trail.
The trail?
this trail up here?
Yeah,
Yeah, so once all the reports will come in, those will come to council,
okay.
Okay.
so, yeah.
Here's a big one, the Rocky Fork Bank Stabilization Project. So, we got our flood permit in, and we were talking about scheduling and stuff, and I think I talked about this last time with the Willows, and we'd probably roll this forward in the spring. We met with the DES, who's kind of funding this. They're our first contact in the funding chain. And he was like, yeah, well, we just need to file for an extension, because the project's supposed to be done by September 30th. He said, but we shouldn't have any problem getting an extension, blah, 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 blah. We went ahead and we're just soliciting bids for this because we believe the engineer's estimate is under $80,000, and under $80,000, we don't have to do a full, we can just go solicit 3 bids and pick one. So we're not going through the formal bid process. We did get those bids out last week, those bid packages, just in case we couldn't get an extension. This morning, we had a Zoom meeting with FEMA, who's the next person up on the funding chain, and the local FEMA state person said, basically, you need to get it done by the 30th. Willows be damned. Because there's a lot of pressure from the administration to not allow extensions anymore, and if we do not complete by that date, then the project would be deemed a failure, and any money they've spent so far might go away. So
it will be done.
What's that?
So it will be done.
It'll be done. So what we did was we reached out to the 3 contractors that contacted. And we can't just, even though FEMA says, the heck with the Willows, their thing was, as long as you put vegetation on there, it should be good. So their suggestion was plant grass. But that's not gonna fly with our other people that give us permits like FWP. So we can't, only FEMA can dam the Willows, we can't. But we did reach out today and found out that typically you harvest these things when they're dormant and you plant them. But they said that if we are able to harvest them and get them in the ground within 24 to 48 hours, that's acceptable. So it's only 1,800 willows, so I think we could do it. I mean, the last project was 8,000.
Where are we procuring these willows
We
from?
try and get them as close to the site as you can, and they're just cuttings.
Okay.
You know, they're like
Oh,
4 to 8 foot long cuttings, you know, from your finger to your thumb size. And we did reach out to all of our contractors. We put out an addendum saying that we were gonna not use dormant willows. And we said that if anybody, you know, if you're awarded this, do you foresee any issue where you would not be able to complete this project by September 30th? And every one of them said no problem. So I think we're safe, but we had to do a little and remaneuver today. So
how many people do you need to get 1,800 willows?
it'll probably be part of the contract.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we'll see, and that, because of the crunch, that may be a place where we step in as a customer of the city and say, we're gonna help you with this, and
Okay.
My whole crew goes willow cutting for a day.
Sounds like fun. Willie?
The last thing,
Oh, dear.
park stuff, and this is kind of serve as the next item on the agenda, the park board update.
Right.
So at the last park board meeting, can't remember his name,
Jeff Sheets.
no, the guy from the foundation, Bruce.
Oh, Caton.
Oh, this is on the, parks.
Coal miners
Dollars.
master plan.
Got it.
So we need to get that rolling forward, and I'm not sure what the process is to do that. Basically, what has been presented to us and offered is that the foundation would take some of the tourism grant money to fund a coal miners park master plan, and they would solicit the bids. And I think the city could sit at the table of, when we choose those bids, and then have them write a plan, and then present the plan to to the council and see if the council approves it, then it becomes part of our city government. I'm a little, I need some guidance on how we get from here to having them start solicit bids.
And we're there, so it is gonna be city solicited, overseen, done, we're just gonna use their money to do it. So I have been able to confirm that since our conversation.
We're gonna write the check and they're gonna reimburse us?
Correct,
Okay.
that's how it needs to work, because it needs to
So
be,
are we at that point where we can start the process? We don't
Yes.
have to go?
yeah, reach out and talk to Lonnie.
Okay,
But I actually talked to people on parks and also on that committee, and they said that's not a deal stopper, but it needs to be, basically, it's a city,
okay.
it is a city plan, a city document. We're happy to use it, it's basically just like any other grant we have.
So, yeah, so we'll get, I'll start trying to get that rolling next week too, I think that'll be going.
So, I don't remember, on our budget, how much do we have in resort tax for that? Was it 50,000, I think?
This is a different plan.
Yeah, so we have 50 toward parks plans,
Yeah.
but,
Comprehensive part.
so this will be a more narrowed and focused in.
Okay, so we can
Coal miners
still,
only, and then we'll just plug this into the.
and then we can still do the comprehensive park plan, hopefully with the other 50,000, and this will just save us some money.
Yeah, it should make the price of the,
Comprehensive.
taking possibly one of the hardest component of a comprehensive park plan, and it's doing it.
Okay.
So it should make our plan easier to do and cheaper.
Perfect, thank you. We like cheaper.
That's all I got, I think.
We like to save money.
What's that?
So we like to save money. Give us money.
Yeah, somebody else even.
Well, since that was a Parks Board update, I'll just cut into the Parks Board, and you can go home if you want. But what about the AED? Jeff Sheets
I talked,
mentioned the incident they had, that AED might have come in handy, so,
What's an aid?
yeah, defibrillator.
yeah, like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, oh, gosh, okay.
I think,
Was thinking of that.
Yeah,
we just need to work out the logistics of that. Ironically, and like, I forgot about it when we were in the meeting, but that day or the day before, we came to work and there was a defibrillator.
That was me bringing the old one back that they told us to throw away, but I'm not gonna throw it away, so I gave it back to you, because it started out up with you. That was the one that was down in the pool, then we chased the other good one down. The old one is dead, it's like, how hard do you have to hit somebody in the chest to get their heart to be going, because.
Well, we'll just pitch that then. But I think we could get one. It's just a matter of, we can't have it on anything. It's gotta be in a lockbox. So, you know, it would have to be, and they have a box there, but we can't put one where, even in a glass case, whatever, we can't have it out there to the general public. And
Where do they want it, at coal miners, or?
they want it at
courts,
the pickleball courts.
Oh,
So somebody played pickleball and then went to lunch and was not feeling great, and so they went out to the hospital and they said, yeah, it's a good thing you came here, you're having a heart attack.
Oh,
So make sure you coordinate with the front office. The fire department is in the process of getting a grant that's giving them a whole bunch of ones, and they're about ready to give us all their old ones.
Oh, we'll take
So-
one of those.
That's still under development. So if we can't,
I mean, I think
how
we
do
can get
we
with
do it if it's locked?
Well, it's just gonna be like, I mean, you know, like typically, the pickleball folks are down there every morning, and somebody's got a key to that box, and they open up the box to get stuff out, their nets and stuff. It could be in there secured,
Okay.
and it's accessible at that time, but when they're done, they pack up and leave. It probably won't be susceptible to people that are there in the afternoon, or that don't have a key to that box. That's the only way I can figure it out. Or, you know, we could put one across the street at the Boys and Girls Club and have it in there and say, put a sign up that says defibrillator across the street at Boys and Girls Club, but I don't want one outside.
well, then kids will do
I
that.
mean, I can just see some kids like,
With
look like cute dogs.
Teenage boys,
or each other, yeah.
yeah,
I was just wondering, do we know where the closest one is. I think there's one at the grocery store.
I think there is.
But not at the Boys and Girls Club already?
I wouldn't be surprised, you think the Boys and Girls Club?
I would think
You know,
They might
could
have,
be made available to say that,
There is some information on the tennis rack, fence.
right, about
Yeah.
that.
Boys and Girls Club is so convenient.
Yeah,
It's
it'd be
a great
perfect,
idea.
it'd be perfect.
That extra 5-10 minutes to go to the grocery store and get it,
Right.
when you're done.
Is the Boys
And
and
there
Girls
might-
Club open?
They might,
Until like,
Six or seven,
yeah,
Every day?
well,
Well, no, we,
Saturdays
you
and
know,
Sundays.
we gotta figure something out, but.
No pickleball on Saturdays and.
Yeah.
You know, there's gotta be an
Lay down the
outdoor
law.
aid somewhere in this country. I mean,
mhm.
you know, so we just
Well, and
gotta,
I think you have to, like, if we're gonna get a whole bunch of them, I think you have to think about, like, all of our busy parks, you know, because we have soccer and baseball and
Mhm.
all of these other things at coal miners that are more strenuous too.
And it has
So-
now been added to the attorney's list,
Yeah,
legal
so,
opinion on it.
yeah, I was like, you know, how do you pick and choose? Oh, pickleball gets the defibrillator, but, you
Yeah.
know.
Is that a part of the
There
new
must be
tennis court?
70,
All of us
80-year-olds
pickleball old.
playing soccer.
They try.
Well, the other option is too, they could all just have one in their car that they take with them too as individuals, but we'll get the attorney's
Expensive.
input on what.
Yeah, that would be great. Anything else?
there's gotta be a contraption in this world that contains an E AED.
Well, you see them in airports all the time, you walk by, that's why I'm
Yeah,
concerned, because you see them.
but in an airport, it's not like.
There's security
There's security
watching.
24/7.
At 10 o'clock at night.
We'll get the
drunk guy-
attorney's opinion on it.
Really?
You buy them
Is that what we've come to? We're gonna
Code.
break up an AED?
Steve, go ahead.
They have codes on telephone boxes too.
I have a question for Mike before he's getting ready to go. And that is, back to the paving of, putting the curbs in the streets when the boulevard area is disrupted because they need room to get the equipment in.
They're gonna restore that,
I say, is that part of the contract? Will they restore it?
yes.
What about fixing, sprinkler systems that have been torn up?
They'll fix that.
Well, Justin didn't know that.
No, well, he will tomorrow.
Okay.
And Mike, if the trees die because so much of the root ball has been destroyed, they'll eventually replace those?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's something that the contractor won't, but if that happens, just get with us and we're always, you know, we're not always, but sometimes we're looking for places to plant trees, so that would be a good candidate.
Yeah, because all of our trees we did cost share with the city for them, so they were in the, we felt the city.
Yeah, if they die with those, we'll replace them.
Okay, but they will redo the sprinkler system, the city.
Yeah, I mean, we do on all our other projects, I don't know why he thinks that, if we're putting in a water line and we bust a sprinkler line, they fix
He
it.
said, oh, I'm not sure about the sprinklers.
No, they're,
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I did get another report down on this side of town too, and it didn't make sense to me because my understanding is they all knew that they're responsible for restoring it.
no,
I'll
they're
still give you an
responsible
address.
for restoring the boulevard, and that includes the sprinklers.
How about turf?
You
I
know,
mean, there's gotta be a limit, I guess.
Well, and that'll come down to, like, what the contract says, and we don't determine a contractor's means or methods, but, like, if it's, like, we usually find a way to work around, you know, through stuff if it's an area that, you know, really would benefit from, like, hydro spray, or what do they call it, hydro spray or sodding versus just broadcast heating,
I see.
then, you know, we'll negotiate that
All right,
out.
all right.
He did tell me though that they would bring in topsoil
Yeah.
to replace what's gone.
And we do have videos of all that stuff, so we know what it was, so if it was a rock garden before, it's not gonna be a sod lawn when you're done.
Mine had roses.
Google Earth is pretty handy tool.
Really? Can you Google Earth that effective?
Yeah.
Yeah, really? I guess so, yeah, you're right, yeah.
I mean, you can go back and say, no, that pothole was there.
Great, well, we appreciate
Yeah.
hearing that news.
Yeah, that's good news, Mike, thank you.
Well, I just have a question on trees too. I have a couple of big trees that were cut within 6 inches. And
Where's that one at?
it's on the corner of Sixth and Hauser, Fifth and Hauser.
Oh,
Fifth.
I know where you're at.
Yeah, and I'm just curious, if, I don't know what the life of those trees are. I know my trees appear to have a deep root to them, the next door neighbors doesn't. If they should fail, if they should die, and
I mean,
damage as a
if they-
result of that.
If they start looking sick in a year on coming back, we'll just cut them down so they don't cost them.
Okay, yeah, I was just
I'm gonna be quick
curious
on
who's
parks,
responsible.
because we got other more
Last
important
question for
things.
Mike. This kind of crosses over with public health and safety. And, we were talking last fall about the cans going across the intersection of Fifth and Hauser. Remember that conversation?
The what?
Pam?
Well, I've gutters, beam pans or valley
Oh,
pans,
oh,
valley
okay.
gutters.
Concrete valley.
Yeah, and I saw these over by the P Cannery on Bonner. I was wondering, is that in the plan for, and this kind of goes to the safety issue of keeping people from, you know, if they hit a couple
No.
bumps, maybe they won't speed down our
No,
new
there's
street.
gonna be, at, right by your house.
Yeah, by Marvin.
There's gonna be, I know a valley gutter on the north side,
So crossing east to west on the north side of the intersection? Okay.
and I think, so that all that water that comes up from like above them quick. will
Yeah,
hopefully
on
go
Fifth there, Mike,
straight
yeah.
all the way down to the storm drain on Dillard. I think there's gonna be a valley gutter on the south side too, there's gonna be two of those on each.
All right. I mean, because I can see people going,
I'm 100%
new
sure
pavement,
on
new
the
street, let's go, you know,
I'm
and
not
with no
100%
hindrance.
sure on the south side, but I know there's gonna be one of those on
Good, okay, at least on one side of that.
Jeff's so happy, that's unusual.
Okay, can I ask one more, Michael?
Okay.
Yes, go ahead there.
the, we have four more, one more.
Is there, and I may have missed this, so I apologize in previous meetings, but we're doing this part of North Hauser, but how about from Fifth to 78? Is that in a future plan, or?
It's in a future plan, I mean, ideally, in a perfect world, we'll get all this done, and then, you know, people will support that more, and we'll be able to come up with either more resort tax money or figure out a way to just pay for it, and then we're gonna expand off of both the Hagen Platt, Hauser, and I'd like to, you know, if we could get to a point, engineer plans are really, I mean, for streets, it's not that big a deal because things don't change that much, and also you can't really get grants for them. We did on this one. So, but like from a funding agency, they don't want to see plans that are older than 3 years.
Okay.
So like, as a plan, as an idea moving forward, I'd like to be able to say, okay, let's get the engineering done for this block and this
Sure.
block, and
But
then save some money, and then do 2 blocks, and then wait another couple of years and do another 2 blocks. You gotta find the sweet spot where mobilizing a crew in here, you know, to do 1 block, your square foot cost goes up. Then if you do 2 or 3 or 14 blocks.
But the current grant that we're operating under now is laid out, and
That was a unicorn.
what you're working on.
And, yeah, and it was really rare. So the answer is, yes, there's a plan, but step one in that plan is find the money.
I see. But the current money is all used up on what you engaged in so far. Okay.
All right,
Thanks.
Mike, do you have anything else? Okay.
Okay, I've got Parks Board, I'm gonna be no, we gotta get going. Mike talked a lot about Parks Board the other night, so I have not much to say, other than, Barb Beck probably told you today what she talked about at Parks Board on Wednesday night. The AED, Caton coming for the master plan for Coal Miners Park and the AED, and there's a sustainability fair on Thursday, September. The Thursday in September,
Thursday's a weird day.
probably the 10th, from 2 to 7, that's the news about. And, that's all I'm gonna say, 'cause we've got other things we gotta talk about.
Thank you.
What time did you say that is? Sorry?
2 to 7. I hope my date's right, I know it's a Thursday, and I know it's 2 to 7.
Okay.
So,
And by the way, I did hear today that the Parks Board meeting did not get recorded either.
Okay, great. So, any other questions for Mike before he leaves?
Shoot.
I would
Yes.
like to make one comment.
Oh, you were serious.
Lily came up to the park today at 8th and I did a fantastic job.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really good.
I went, I asked him when I met him up there, do you have any fire extinguishers? He said, no. I said, you got one on your mower? He said, no, and I went and bought him two. And they put that grass to
No.
Right.
Oh,
Pretty tender.
good.
Okay. All right, we will move on to city water rates.
I am not aware of an update yet. The attorney, that was doing that was in Europe for 2 weeks and just got back yesterday.
Okay.
We have a follow-up call. Have you heard anything more? The biggest thing that I can share is the same thing that we shared at council meeting, which is it is not an emergent issue that is catastrophic and has to be resolved right away, so.
Okay. As long as it's not use it or lose it, then
Yeah,
we're
no,
fine.
it's
Okay.
not.
Okay, perfect.
I think we did hear, and I think, Mike, you were part of that conversation, that the gal who's, and we said, we got all the right people in the conversation now that said that converting it from surface to sub was,
Hard to do.
yeah, was not real practical and not likely, and that was, but anyway, so. But none of it was, it has to be done yesterday or or it's gone.
Okay. All right. So anything else on that? Good?
No.
Okay. Update, letter to public services, and increased city enforcement efforts for our solid waste.
I'm still working on a letter for, that we can give to police, Republic and FWP to hand out regarding our new ordinance. That is not done. And I don't have any follow-up. I know Mike has reached out to him a couple times. We still haven't heard anything back from him.
I haven't heard anything.
So-
Yeah, I'll put it, I'll raise it. I'll put it down either
When,
one.
are we almost at 30 days where that'll be enforced?
Yeah, we're there. We can start handing out letters now.
Okay. And tickets.
Yeah, I think it's probably like Thursday. So by the
Okay.
time the letter's done, the letter says it's here.
Okay, perfect.
The ticket for the.
Garbage, yeah.
That's more of a public safety thing. I'll save that for tomorrow.
Okay. That's okay, you can tell us.
Well, I was just gonna say, and I'll make some comments tomorrow night to it. Right now, the bears strolling around town are absolutely ridiculous how common they are. There are some recommendations. If you have the ability to bring your trash can inside, bring it inside until that day. I would absolutely not walk out. I would not walk down the street any time of day or night right now without bear spray with me. And quite frankly, if you see a bear, yell, scream, holler. I mean, do hazing stuff. We've got one up at the golf course right now, and the good news is anytime he sees people, he turns around and runs the other way. That's good. That means he may live through the summer. But we've as a community, we've got to do everything we can to make, when bears run into us, we have to be unpleasant so they don't want to hang out. And you know, if you take a picture, fine, but then yell at them and scream and holler and make noise. And it says that's pretty. The bears are here. There's no bears in the mountains, so the bears are coming to town. And all we can do is make sure that they don't like it and that they'd rather be back up in the mountains rather than hanging around.
There's hardly any berries in town either because of that, I mean, it froze after
No,
they all.
but there's
walked.
other stuff, not that.
No, I
yeah.
know, I'm just
But-
saying,
but
there's
we
really
really-
no berries anywhere right now.
It's like that day when Dan, and I think Daniel's gonna try to be here tomorrow too and give us an
Okay.
update. But I really think we're all, we should all be on board on the hazing thing. And if you see a bear, be a pain. Make him wish he was someplace else instead.
I don't know if I'll be
We're-
hazing grizzly bears.
Now, what happens at your recommendation, somebody is hazing and they get attacked?
No, I'm just saying, don't make noise, yell, holler.
Yeah,
That's
Just
just,
be ready to run.
Yeah.
well, go and, like I said, I have bear, I think carry bear spray around. You know, those things get hit with bear spray a couple times. I'm not gonna like that experience either.
yes,
I think the people who are stupid in Yellowstone have previously been here, or they're come here after Yellowstone, so they'll be stupid here. So it's tourist things, education as well. So.
Yeah, I wish I could blame it all on tourists, but.
No, but I'm just saying, what they do in Yellowstone, they're gonna do here.
The Torons
They're gonna
come
drive
here as
around, they're gonna
well,
drive around and look for them and chase them and,
and they'll yell at me when I honk my horn when I see them, and that's okay.
yes.
I'm just saying,
One question on, cans.
Yes, garbage cans, yes.
Bear proof?
Yes.
There is a second model out.
Right,
True.
yes.
Can we request,
That
how do we
was
get,
part of the email I sent to Ryan, but I haven't got a response to.
okay. Because for the first time in 6 years, a bear knocked ours, it's been knocked over before, but got it open.
And we know it was locked.
Don't know how.
We're so
Yeah,
OCD about that.
So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
do we, and maybe, and it's an older can, so
probably
maybe,
could have popped open, yeah.
if there's a way, are the newer ones less likely to be popped by a bear? Who knows?
I don't know, I know that, like, the mayor knows more about how they work, but
That's totally.
don't they open up and they turn them upside down? Yeah.
No, so what's I think what
Jump on them,
they,
don't they?
well, if you knock them down, then the ball comes out, and then I've heard it referred to as, people call it giving the can CPR. If they kind of bounce on it when it's down, and it doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. I would say when you close your can, lift it to make sure it's
Yeah.
locked.
Of course.
And the people who make them specifically call them bear resistant, not bear proof, and I'm sure there's a reason.
But I think the newer cans are gonna probably have the same,
They have
well, something similar, but they're easier to operate, you just put two fingers.
Oh, it's not necessarily a more secure closing, it's just easier to open.
Well,
It's a difference.
New.
they're nicer. They're easier to open.
Okay, any more on that letter? Thank you for working on that. City, update, city attorneys on solid waste ordinance, have you heard back from them? when
No,
we were talking about
it's on their mess, and
Who
we
gets
have,
the
we,
ticket?
we
Okay,
did, we've got
All right.
a meeting at 9 tomorrow, so I may have something tomorrow night.
okay, perfect. All right, review priorities, projects, anything else we need to think about for the future, Mike, that you want us working on?
No?
No?
Okay.
Okay, all right, public comment. Any more public comment? Questions? Any public comment online?
Sorry, Willie, I thought you were jerking me around.
All right, is there like no more public comment? Yes, go ahead.
Well, I do have one more question regarding the curbs going in.
Sure.
I've noticed on these streets that they're handicap accessible. Will all of those on Hauser be that way?
Mm-hmm, at the corners, they'll all have ADA ramps, and then they'll either, like by your place, like, are you right on the corner of?
Yeah, it's the gray house.
Where the old wire, rod iron fence, so
Yeah.
what we're gonna do on that one, because that sidewalk is very problematic, because it's so low.
Yeah.
So like if you go back to, I think, where the new panel is, when you got your water line replaced, we're gonna replace that sidewalk from there all the way to the corner, part of the project, because otherwise we weren't gonna be able to deal with the drainage problem. And then going towards the east, like kinda near that tree, there's a place where the tree buckled up a panel right there. We're gonna go to that one on the narrow sidewalk, so that we can bring that ADA ramp up a little bit. Because we're just worried about when the water's coming down, it's that Fifth Street, right? It's coming down the north side of Fifth Street, it's gonna come through that valley gutter, and then we're gonna have an ADA ramp there.
Oh, and they'll
We
go
don't
up
want the
to it.
water flowing into the sidewalk. We're
Yeah,
trying to keep
I was concerned about.
We're trying to, so we're doing that by bringing that sidewalk up.
Would there be an additional, I guess I'm worried about that tree there too. Are we gonna be cutting more of that sidewalk in then?
No, the sidewalk that we're gonna replace, we're just gonna pluck those panels out of there at that one where it's a little bit like this. We're just gonna cut that seam and just pluck those out, just like they did when they did your, where the curb
Put the
stop
water,
was,
yeah.
you know, same with those panels, so there's gonna be roots right underneath there probably, but we're not gonna be digging in deeper.
Okay, okay. No, thank you. That's answered more than I thought it would get answered.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Okay, meeting adjourned.
Yay.